Just a brief review of our main story today. The first business day of the year 2000 has come and gone without the Y2K problems that had concerned so many people. Only a few computer problems were reported anywhere. Finally from us this evening, as hard as it is to believe, even in 24 hours of Millennium coverage, last Friday and Saturday night there were some stunning moments we didn't get to. Just as it was midnight in South Africa, there was a technical failure, and we didn't get to see this live. They were dancing at Robben Island, just off the coast from Cape Town. This is where the white minority government kept the men and women with ideas that threatened them during the long black struggle for freedom. This is where Nelson Mandela spent almost 2 decades as a prisoner before he emerged to lead a movement for reconciliation. In his former cell, Mr. Mandela, who's now 81, lit the candle of freedom, which he passed on to his successor, South Africa's current president, Thabo Mbeki.
Mr. President, I hand this flame of freedom to you.
Mr. Mbeki passed it on to Africa's next generation.
Today, it feels good to be an African.
At the moment the new century began, in the darkness of the prison courtyard, the children formed the shape of the continent. Mr. Mbeki said nothing would stop African progress.
However improbable it may sound to the skeptics, Africa will prosper.
Africa will prosper. Thanks for watching this special edition of World News Tonight on Channel 2. Don't forget Channel 2 News at 11. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
Tomorrow, American Jean Moore, held hostage on a hijacked plane. Now she sends a heartfelt message back to her family, who watch it together for the first time. Live on tomorrow's Good Morning America. And on World News Tonight, why businesses may be looking for you, even if you don't have skills, on World News Tonight. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Tacoma 4x4. There's no bigger rush.
I've tried every diet in the world. I mean, if it was stand on your head, I tried it. If it was eat only grapefruits, I tried it. Magic diet pills, I tried it. I've lost 31 pounds on Jenny Craig. I'm not there yet, but I can still appreciate and be grateful and proud of my success so far. One of the most amazing things about Jenny Craig for me is that I haven't felt deprived on this program at all. I think the concept of Jenny Craig having a low-carb option is great. It gives clients just one more opportunity to have a different choice. I think Jenny Craig is a great program for someone who not only wants to lose weight, but who's looking to change their life. I feel fantastic.
Now presenting the new Jenny Craig low-carb option for the new year. It's balanced and hassle-free. Join today and lose 20 pounds for $20 plus the cost of food. Call 1-800-JENNY-2000 or log on to jennycraig.com.
Rosie and Barbara like never before. Next Rosie.
And now, KATU joins our regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Time. That's because we found Ricky. We told her that her birth mother would be part of the story. So she agreed to sit down and speak with us, anxious to hear why she remains worlds apart from her own flesh and blood.
I really had a really big-time burning desire that I really wanted to find my birth mother. I just want to know why.
Why what?
Why am I not in their life? Why wasn't I still in their life? Why was I put up for adoption, you know? What happened?
Shortly after her 18th birthday, Ricky registered her name and address with her adoption agency so that her birth mother could contact her if she wanted. Meanwhile, Cindy had conquered her fear of a possible reunion and registered her name as well. The two exchanged letters and photographs. The tone was positive and upbeat, and a reunion seemed virtually inevitable. But for Cindy, the wounds from nearly 20 years ago were about to reopen in the most painful way possible.
When I got her picture, I had a surprising reaction. Again, I cried. I was just overwhelmed. I had to call a friend, and because she looked so beautiful to me, and I was so glad that I gave her life.
Do you remember receiving that first letter from your birth mother?
Oh, gosh. Opening it up was a picture of her. And I started screaming. I was like, oh my gosh, this is her, this is her. I was just so happy.
I felt so grateful. And I was also just absolutely terrified because she was like my rapist. And I actually almost decided to stop the reunion process then because I wasn't sure I could handle it.
But Cindy forged ahead with more letters. The continued contact made Ricky think she was headed for a storybook reunion. When you would see these happy reunions on television, what would go through your mind?
Wow, is it always like that? No. Is that how it's going to be when I meet my biological parents?
Ricky was desperate to unravel the mystery of her origins. But before contact could go any further, Cindy felt that Ricky needed to know the painful truth about her violent conception. Cindy asked the adoption agency to break the news about her rape to Ricky. Cindy then followed up with a compassionate letter of her own, saying, I am concerned that you know you are a beautiful person and have no part in what happened to me. Giving you life helped heal what happened to me. Cindy hoped for compassion in return, but what she got in Ricky's reply was startling and deeply painful. How do you think your daughter reacted to the fact that you were raped?
She seemed to have no feelings about it at all in her letters. She didn't even acknowledge it. She never used the word.
Ricky's letter never conveyed sympathy about the rape. Disturbingly, though, it expressed curiosity about the rapist, stating, I'm glad you told me about my father's situation. Although that happened, I still want to find him. If you have any info on him from a long time ago, please let me know.
She just said, how can I find my daddy? Help me find my daddy. I was just shocked and devastated that she wouldn't understand how painful those questions would be for me and how frightening and how I might relive that and how I wouldn't want to be linked back up with a man who had raped and almost killed me.
What was Ricky thinking when she sent that letter? Did she really mean what she wrote? That was the burning question we wanted to ask her. When the person at the adoption center told you that your birth mother had been raped, were you shocked?
I was shocked to the point that I wasn't like really shocked, but I was kind of relieved of knowing what happened. I wanted to know why she didn't keep me, and that just kind of gave me an answer to it.
Because it was a rape, you would understand why she wouldn't keep you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It was a bad thing, and I'm sorry that it happened. It was just almost, but it was a relief.
She doesn't see how devastating, she doesn't care about my life. She doesn't see how that is for me. I felt that she only wanted to use me to find her father.
Why did you want to meet him, even though he had committed this crime against your birth mother?
He donated the sperm and put me together, I guess. I don't know, he was still a part of me, no matter what, either way it goes. I wanted to know who he was.
Were you afraid that if she found him, then that would lead to him finding you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm still afraid of that. Because she doesn't seem to get how dangerous this is. She wants him to be this nice person that she can get to know, and I think she would very innocently and very dangerously give him information about me that she's smart enough to find that could put the two of us together.
Fearing for her safety and security of her family, Cindy completely severed all further contact with Ricky. In writing, Cindy told the adoption agency that had been her go-between, You do not have my permission to supply her with personal information about me or my family.
I was devastated. I just couldn't believe that she didn't want to continue. And we were doing so well.
Can you understand why your birth mother does not want to have contact with you now?
No, not completely.
It was the fact that you expressed interest in contacting your birth father that caused your birth mother to cease contact with you.
But I didn't know that it would come to this conclusion. I didn't know that it would be like as serious as it is.
Do you now regret that?
Yeah. I regret a lot even saying anything about him. And I feel bad that I had the curiosity, but that's only natural.
Would you like to have that moment back again?
Yeah, I would. I would love to be able to just read over that letter one more time and just think about it before I put that stamp on it.
For Ricky, there will likely be no second chance to meet her birth mother. As long as her adoption records remain sealed by law, all she can do is try to cope with her crushing disappointment.
If she's not ready with her situation, her problems, her life, then it's not something that you can force someone to do.
But in the end?
I do want to see her. I want it too bad. I want to know who she is.
Ricky now realizes she may have no choice but to accept the desire of her birth mother to remain anonymous, but other adoptees are determined to do whatever it takes to discover their origins. When Connie returns, she'll show you one woman who challenged her birth mother's privacy and ignited an emotional and legal firestorm.
She wanted a happy meeting with a mother who gave her up for adoption, but got a response she never expected.
When I got that letter, I cried. I cried hard.
Connie Chung and the controversy over a child's right to know when 2020 continues.
Radio Shack's having a clearance sale on select compact PCs for your whole family. Incredible clearance prices up to 30% off. Powerful internet-ready compacts loaded with features and software for education. Get an extra $400 off when you sign up for CompuServe Internet Service. Save up to $700 on a compact that could help your kids do better in school so they'll do better in life. Only at Radio Shack.
Americans love food. Always have, always will. It's part of our culture. You can't go anywhere without being reminded, excited, or enticed by a variety of things to eat. It's no wonder so many Americans are considerably overweight. But if you're serious about losing weight and willing to make the effort to change your diet, Xenical can help. Xenical's the only prescription fat blocker. It actually blocks about 1/3 of the fat in the food you eat from ever being digested. So if you avoid temptation and start eating reduced calorie meals, Xenical can help you lose weight. And that's pretty enticing too. So if you're considerably overweight, at least 30 pounds, depending on height, ask your doctor for more information.
Since Xenical blocks about 1/3 of the fat in the food you eat, you may experience gas with oily discharge, increased bowel movements, an urgent need to have them, and an inability to control them, particularly after meals containing more fat than recommended. Xenical shouldn't be taken if you are pregnant, nursing, have food absorption problems, reduce bile flow, or taking cyclosporin. Xenical reduces the absorption of some vitamins. Therefore, a daily multivitamin is recommended.
I'm Mark John Jeffries for People PC. Many people wonder how good a computer People PC can possibly offer for just $24.95 a month, along with unlimited internet access, in-home service, and great deals. Is the People PC computer a no-name piece of free world junk? No, my friend, it's not. It's the brand you know with all the power you need to send emails, manage your finances, and play important new video games. I hope this clears up any ambiguity.
It's the dawn of a new millennium, and only one thing is certain. Monday nights belong to ABC. Network premieres of Hollywood's biggest blockbusters.
I can't lie!
And our outstanding originals. Mary Tyler Moore and Valerie Harper are back in Mary and Rhoda. From the producers of Annie, The Beach Boys, and American Family, Jennifer Love Hewitt stars in the Audrey Hepburn story.
He ain't got no business being in the ring with me. You all know.
And it all kicks off with the story behind this century's greatest athlete, Muhammad Ali.
I am the greatest.
Monday, January 10th on the premiere of the Monday Night Big Picture Show.
Should the desire of adoptees to contact their birth mothers override a mother's right to privacy? As we continue our report, you're about to meet a woman whose all-consuming determination to find her birth mother triggered a landmark battle over that question.
When you look in your mirror and you see a reflection, you can go beyond that and you can see like your whole background, history, everything. When I look in a mirror, I don't see that. I see like an empty hole, and there's like nothing that can fill it.
Lisa Franklin is an adoptee who had a deep longing to fill that hole and learn about her biological roots. She desperately fought to break through a curtain of secrecy surrounding her birth mother.
They got to understand that child's going to grow up one day, and they possibly might want to see who they are and know where they came from. It's their God-given right.
Lisa's birth in 1963 was kept a secret by her birth mother, who at the time was a teenager. Lisa was just days old when she was adopted by a couple from Florida. Throughout her childhood, she knew she was adopted, but had no curiosity about her biological roots.
Uh-oh, careful.
But when Lisa became a mother herself, all that changed.
What did you want from your birth mother? Maybe to see what she looked like. Was that so bad? Find out, where I came from.
Lisa's husband, Jim, sensed his wife's need for that biological connection and stepped in to help. He hired Virginia Snyder, a veteran Florida private investigator, to find Lisa's birth mother. The Franklins provided Snyder with birth documents Lisa's adoptive mother had saved for just this very occasion. To Snyder's amazement, the documents contained the names of Lisa's birth parents. With that crucial information, Snyder needed only a couple of days to locate Lisa's birth mother and call her on the phone.
She was surprised. She was startled. And she said, one of the first things she said to me after I did my little speech about not wanting to invade her privacy, she said, there hasn't been a day go by that I haven't thought about her.
My hands started shaking. I just was like, oh my gosh, you found her? You found her?
And I said, well, my client wants to talk with you, And she said, well, give me, I think she said 20 minutes or half an hour, and then have her call me.
That 20 minutes just like stood still. I mean, it was like my heart stopped. When they finally did dial the number, and I hear the voice on the other end, the lady picks up and she goes, hello? And I go, hello? She goes, is this Lisa? And I go, yes. She says, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you. And we started talking, and it was happy. It was good. It was positive.
Lisa got swept up by this emotional turning point in her life. She sent a steady stream of letters and pictures to her birth mother, but none was sent in return, an omen that a happy reunion was not a sure thing.
We talked a couple of different times, and those calls were fine. And then all of a sudden, she just turned real, I don't know how to say it, cold.
I think terrorized is the word that she used to me in describing how it is that she felt.
Bill Grassley, an attorney representing Lisa's birth mother, says panic slowly grew within his client when she realized that the child she had concealed for more than 3 decades was no longer a secret.
Think about this. You're a young, pregnant female. You don't want anyone to know. You don't tell anyone in your family, friends, anybody that you had had a child and gave it away. All of a sudden, out of the blue, now you've got a child confronting you that you thought you would never have to deal with.
She says, I need time. I need a lot of time.
What reason did she give you?
She felt that her space had been invaded, that I was trying to invade her life, change her life.
She made it explicitly clear that she did not want to deal, could not deal with this, and did not want any further contact with anyone.
Do you feel that you invaded her space, that you intruded on her life?
No. I was just, to a point, but I was just seeking information. That's my birthright, Connie.
But Lisa's birth mother didn't see it that way and fired off an angry letter to her birth daughter, crushing any hopes of a reunion. Your harassment is disrupting my life and causing me harm. I want all contact stopped.
When I got that letter, It was unbelievable what I saw inside there. I cried. I cried hard.
Can you understand how she felt? Here she had been going along. Everything was the way she had remembered it for 30 years. And then all of a sudden, that deep, dark secret raises its ugly head in her mind.
I understand. So I was prepared for that. It was her decision for me to call her. She could have stayed unfound. She could have. But she chose to open the door.
Did you accept the fact that she didn't want to have anything to do with you?
I did. I putted her wishes. I never contacted her again. It hurt, but I put it behind me. Got on with my life.
4 years passed, and then one day, out of the clear blue, Lisa Franklin got a call from her private investigator, Virginia Snyder. Snyder had heard from Lisa's birth mother, this time through an attorney.
She said that my birth mother was suing her, and they had a lawsuit. Yeah, because her privacy was invaded.
The manner in which my client was contacted and put into this situation constituted the intentional infliction of emotional distress and was outrageous conduct.
It just bowled me over. It really did. I couldn't believe it. I thought, for what?
Adoption experts believe this lawsuit marks the first time a birth mother has sued a private investigator for helping a birth child find her. But legal action by birth mothers is growing. In Pennsylvania, a birth mother is suing an adoption agency for allegedly handing over confidential information about her to her birth son. And across the country, states that have passed or proposed laws unsealing adoption records have encountered birth mothers challenging them in court.
It is fundamentally unfair and offensive to everything that I would submit is just to have made a deal with a citizen to say, if you give up a child for adoption, we will protect your identity and your anonymity forever, and then to change the rules in the middle of it.
But birth children argue they never were part of any confidentiality agreement. So Lisa Franklin decided to push her search to the next level.
I had curiosity of wanting to finally look at her face to face. Ask her why she's doing the lawsuit. Why is she making this public? What harm have I done here? I had some questions that I just wanted to ask her. Point blank.
And as you'll see, Lisa Franklin would go to dramatic lengths to pursue those questions. And much to her birth mother's horror, Lisa would confront her face to face.
She's been dreaming of this day for years. A woman on a mission, determined to meet her birth mother face to face, refusing to take no for an answer. Where will her journey of discovery lead? Connie Chung with the unforgettable conclusion of Mothers in the Shadows when 2020 continues.
When somebody's sick in the family, you give them lots of close-up cuddle time. And what do you get in return? Hugs, kisses, and cold germs. That's why Kleenex Cold Care offers 3 germ-blocking layers to help catch cold germs and keep them there. Because when it comes to cold germs, it's about caring, not sharing. Kleenex Cold Care, with or without lotion. Share the love, not the germs.
I want it to be a new way of looking at things.
I want it to be larger than life.
I want it to be the second industrial revolution. I wanted to level the playing field.
Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and the network's businesses need to take advantage of it. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
A cash cow. Right now. Over me.
Want to upgrade your workout for the new millennium? Right now, during the best time to buy, get 0% financing till July 2000 on all treadmills priced $5.99 and above when you use your Sears card. Take this foldable Proform EKG treadmill featuring power incline. It's only $599.99. You save $200 and you save space. It doesn't get any better than the best time to buy at Sears. The good life at a great price, guaranteed.
I
I was born to be bombarded by information.
I was born
to turn my mind over to the web.
I was born to think.
I was born to use a computer instead of a phone. I was born to be an internet junkie.
The web PC from Dell. From $9.99 with a monitor, printer, 1 year of DellNet internet access, and an Intel Celeron processor.
I was born to web.
Finally, a computer that shares your DNA. Visit webpc.com.
2 undefeated teams, 1 national championship. Number 1 Florida State takes on number 2 Virginia Tech. Michael Vick and Virginia Tech have been a Cinderella story, but the Noles plan on giving Bobby Bowden his first undefeated season. The Nokia Sugar Bowl.
She says it's her God-given right to meet the woman who gave her up for adoption. But what about the mother's right to privacy? Then, children being taken to the chiropractor over and over again, costing taxpayers millions. A shocking investigation. When 2020 continues after this from our ABC stations.
On the first Wednesday of the 21st century, Norm and the Drew Carey Show go where no comedies have gone before. Well, not really, but they're all new.
Is that Lori's sister? Yeah, she looks just like Lori, except she's hot.
The century's first Drew and Norm. It only happens once every 100 years. See Wednesday on ABC.
Charges are dropped against more than 200 WTO protesters. The Seattle City Attorney says there's not enough evidence. Good evening. I'm John Marley.
I'm Kathy Marshall. Also tonight at 11, Portland's New Year's Eve party cost the city nearly $1 million. Some leaders want it to become an annual event.
And on the football field, Santa draws a flag. Details at 11.
I know you've all heard the testimonials, and you're saying, yes, Gene, by unleashing the power of visualization, I can change my life. But what, Gene? What can I visualize to become a leader? A giant among my peers, while achieving a sense of inner calm. Close your eyes and picture yourself as this.
The Accord from Honda. It's one powerful car.
Hold everything. Sleep Country's huge year-end clearance sale is on now. We negotiated discounts on selected $19.99 Sealy, Simmons, Spring Air, and Pacific mattresses. The biggest difference between the 99 and the 2000 models is the fabric and the money you save, but only for a limited time. Happy New Year!
Man, that Y2K thing is worse than I thought.
Two funny girls, one incredible memory. Rosie's Barbra Streisand interview. It's a Rosie O'Donnell show you won't forget.
Tomorrow at 4 on KATU, Channel 2.
New ways to brighten your smile tomorrow at 9 on AM Northwest.
Lisa Franklin's birth mother filed a lawsuit to protect her privacy, but it generated worldwide publicity instead. In fact, a German television network saw the story in a newspaper and contacted Lisa, offering her a chance to confront her birth mother on camera. Lisa knew full well that would be her birth mother's worst nightmare, but she eagerly seized the opportunity anyway.
I just said, you know, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. She had no idea that I was coming. It was a complete shock to her.
Why did you decide to go with a German television crew to find your birth mother? Because you knew that that was exactly what she didn't want you to do.
Yeah. I went totally the opposite route, didn't I, Connie?
Lisa's opposite route took her to the small town where her birth mother had relocated. Together with the German camera crew, they drove to her birth mother's neighborhood.
And Connie, as we were coming up the road, all of a sudden, there's this lady walking a dog. I got goosebumps. I'm thinking, that could be her. I'm on her street. That could be her.
You didn't say anything
No, we
to
didn't
her.
say anything. Nothing. We said nothing. But we saw her, and then we got out of there. The following day, we went back.
The next day, there would be no hesitation. Lisa Franklin had traveled hundreds of miles to force a reunion she knew her birth mother didn't want.
My heart was beating so fast through all of this. I go to the door, and I'm knocking on the door.
You've come a long way, and I'd like to talk to you. Please?
And I came back down. There was windows in the front. So I came over, and I stood in front looking up. And finally, a lady appeared, and it was her.
You thought it was your birth mother.
Right. And she had no idea who I was. Can I talk to you? My name is Lisa. I'm your daughter. She just gave me this look that was like, she's in complete denial.
Can you understand how frightening it would be to have somebody show up at your house all of a sudden? I mean, even if it is your birth daughter.
Yes, I can. But my intentions meant good. And she wouldn't even hear me out, Connie. She completely just shut the door and she denied who she was. Because that shows me right there she didn't want to face it. So I must have been her worst nightmare.
Lisa may not fully understand her birth mother's fear, but other birth mothers do. This woman, we call her Judy, worries that her birth son will try to force a reunion the same way Lisa Franklin did.
Every time I hear the phone ring or the doorbell rings or somebody honks the horn, I'm constantly looking around, and if it's a stranger, the fear is just there, that he'll turn up someday.
Birth mothers are handicapped by an obvious paradox. How do you fight for your privacy if you have to go public to do it? What some have discovered is that hiding in the shadows isn't enough. By fighting back in court and speaking out in the media, their birth children are finally getting the message and letting go of their dreams of a happy reunion.
We were unselfish enough to give life, and we deserve to be treated with mutual consent and respect. If it's not a good time for us, for reunion, it's not a good time for us.
But just last week, the movement to open birth records got a tremendous boost in at least one state. Oregon's Court of Appeals unanimously upheld the law that gives adoptees access to their birth records.
And Jack, the court also said that mothers in Oregon who put their babies up for adoption have no constitutional guarantee of privacy, even if they were promised anonymity. But the court is keeping adoption records sealed for now to give the birth mothers time to appeal.
Difficult questions, no easy answers. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Next, 2020 cameras focus on an explosive investigation. Poor children, collected by the van load, repeatedly taken to chiropractors billing Medicaid for millions.
When we get done, they give us suckers.
But are taxpayers the real suckers? Arnold Diaz, licensed to bill when 2020 continues.
We started out a pretty small business, but it sure wasn't small to us. We needed help, financial help. That's just what we got from the people at American Express Small Business Services. We got equipment financing for bigger stoves and faster computers, a line of credit to keep our cash flow flowing, plus the buying power to help our business grow. 1-800-SUCCESS was the best call we ever made. Like my father says, you can do anything you set your mind to, but you can't do it alone. He's right. WorldNet service. Just click and go.
Hi, I'm Ken. I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. See, to me, it's the shapes and the frosting. The way they come together.
Oh, that's a nice one. Bagpipes. Wow, look at Venus de Milo.
Like, for example, look at this one here. See, that's Abraham Lincoln. You know, if he'd gotten older and his beard had gotten white, that'd be him right there. I love my work. The hardest part about my job is, well, not eating it. PT 109. There it is.
They're great. My dad's had this store since I was a kid. Dad's motto was, the customer is always right. Never say no if you can help it. The problem was, kids would try to buy cigarettes. You got an ID for those folks?
Oh, come on.
It's illegal for me to sell them to anyone under 18. I have heard the lamest excuses.
Her dog ate my ID.
You did?
We need them for school science project. They're not for us. They're for my mom outside.
Mom, I look young for my age.
But that all changed a few years ago when this We Card program started. Now there's no argument. I just point to the sign.
We're committed to keeping cigarettes out of kids' hands.
That's why Philip Morris is a major sponsor of the We Card program. It has educated hundreds of thousands of retailers on how to recognize fake IDs and uphold the law. And it lets kids know exactly where we and retailers across the country stand.
I'm not alone when I say no, and that's a big help.
Working to make a difference. The people of Philip Morris.
The first Wednesday of the new millennium starts with a new two guys and a girl. Yes! It is exciting, isn't it? Yes! An all-new two guys and a girl. See you Wednesday on ABC. Final answer? You win $250. The winner is... He's won $1 million!
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire returns Sunday at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
You're about to see your tax dollars being squandered away through a scam involving, of all things, chiropractors. Some unscrupulous practitioners turn themselves into millionaires with Medicaid dollars, and they use children as tools to pull it off. When our surveillance cameras first captured evidence of this brazen scheme, they revealed how scarce health dollars that should go toward vaccines and basic care for children were winding up elsewhere. Once again, Arnold Diaz's explosive investigation shows how some people learned to play the system.
You'd never know from watching these active kids move around a playground that they're a chiropractor's delight. Their mother says nothing's wrong with them. Yet the 4 children went to 6 chiropractors for back and neck adjustments, a total of more than 300 times since early last year. They were taken to the clinics in vans like this by drivers working for the doctors who got paid more than $100 by Medicaid for each visit.
We've been there a lot of times.
The kids say they don't need the treatments. They just go for the treats.
When we get done, they give us suckers.
And it's not just these kids. Authorities say thousands of children on Medicaid, some so young they're still in diapers, are being used as pawns by chiropractors who are getting rich at taxpayers' expense by scamming Medicaid, the government's medical program for the poor.
There are a small group of chiropractors in this state that have basically used their license to heal as a license to steal.
Actually, authorities say doctors illegally recruiting children on Medicaid for unnecessary treatment is a national problem. Doctors were recently busted in New Orleans and Los Angeles. We decided to focus on Indiana, where 6 chiropractors allegedly stole more than $7 million of taxpayers' money in a Medicaid scheme. The 2 top billers are Dr. Michael Vandersloot, who authorities say collected $1.9 million and stashed more than half of it in an overseas bank, and Dr. Robert Guzik, who they say collected more than $4 million from Medicaid in less than 3 years.
I don't understand what's illegal in the United States to be a busy doctor.
As you're about to see, it's the way Dr. Guzik and the others got to be so busy. That's the focus of 2020's investigation. To begin with, the doctors are accused of recruiting Medicaid patients who don't need treatment. Last summer, our surveillance cameras followed some of the clinic vans as they made their rounds, like this one from Dr. Vandersloot's clinic in Gary, Indiana. It's 4 p.m. The van leaves the clinic empty. For the next hour, it cruises the projects like a rusted Pied Piper. The kids come running out one by one and climb on board. At 5:30, the van returns to the clinic with a full load of patients. We count 18 kids getting out and going inside. We time them. 26 minutes later, all 18 are back on the bus. Over at Dr. Guzik's clinic, the treatment seemed just as brief. We found this van picking up these 2 girls at home. They were taken to the clinic, went inside, and returned home, all in 9 minutes.
We got bonuses for people that we would recruit.
Renee Rourke says she was a driver and occasional recruiter for the Michigan City Pain Relief Clinic and its owner, Dr. Guzik. She says she was paid $10 to $15 for every new child she brought in. On a good day, how many kids were you taking to the clinic?
40 to 60.
40 to 60. How many vans were going?
5 or 6.
Sometimes, she said, vans from different clinics competed for the same kids. Several drivers told us there was a lot of pressure to keep the clinics full.
We didn't bring in enough kids. I mean, you know, everybody be in a bad mood. We'd have, you know, bosses down our neck. Get out there, we need some kids, or we need some people in here today.
During our surveillance, we saw vans packed to capacity. We saw youngsters being herded into the clinics like cattle. Age didn't matter. Several we saw were infants, too young to walk. Some of the vans even picked kids up at school, like we saw with this boy. Kids told us even if they were reluctant to go, they were approached by the recruiters again and again.
I didn't like going there
Why not?
because I didn't want my back popped every day.
Every day? They kept coming back?
When you walk home from school, they come and pick you up, like on your way going home.
The van, she says, was from Dr. Guzik's clinic. Yet Dr. Guzik told us he doesn't recruit patients. He claims he just uses advertising and word of mouth.
If you're just advertising, if you're not recruiting, how is it that you got $4 million worth of business in just 2.5 years? There must be some pretty active recruiting going on.
Or a pretty special doctor, in my opinion.
Is that what it is? And the word has spread out there?
It's very crazy how you can start from nothing and build to what you have.
It's not crazy. It's illegal, say authorities, who claim all 6 chiropractors under investigation paid kickbacks to recruiters for new patients. Guzek, the only doctor who would talk to us on camera, denies it.
You don't pay people.
I don't give any kickbacks.
Oh, yes, he did, says this former van driver.
For any new patients that you can bring in, you know, it was $10 or $15 per person.
And while Guzik says his vans were only used to transport patients with appointments, others told us that's not true.
You hadn't made an appointment? They just came to your house?
Yeah.
Did your kids have appointments when they were going there?
No.
No. So how did they know when to go?
When the van comes.
Most of the kids we talked to said they didn't go to the clinics for the quick back adjustments. They were enticed by the wide array of goodies various clinics offer.
What do you get for going to the clinic?
A sucker.
A sucker.
Candy, Twinkies, ice cream, rallies.
Rallies, that's a hamburger place? They take you there?
McDonald's.
At the place known in the neighborhood as the Back Door Clinic, because the Medicaid kids go in the back door and private-paying customers go in the front, there were even video games, and the kids say a chance to win money.
On the computer, you play blackjack or solitaire. They'll give you $1 if you win.
At other clinics, kids told us if they brought in friends as new patients, they could win a bike, a TV, sneakers, or clothing.
But sometimes, like, if you bring 2 visitors, they'll give you a t-shirt or a sweater.
The Attorney General's investigators shot this undercover video inside some of the clinics.
It was a little bit like a daycare center. I mean, kids running around, kids who were playing games, kids who were eating, walking the halls, roaming around.
That may have been true for the other chiropractors under investigation, says Dr. Guzik, but he claims he did not entice patients with incentives.
A sticker and a sucker is what are given out after if you're good. If you're good.
That's it.
That's it.
Actually, that's not it. We learned for each visit to the clinic, the kids could have their names entered in a drawing for valuable prizes.
They had drawings and stuff, and every time you came, your name would go in the basket, so you could get your name in there as many times as you could for the drawings for new bikes or, you know, brand new bike or brand new TV.
Guzik admitted there were drawings when I questioned him about them, but insisted they were not intended to get the kids to come more often.
Basically, it was just, if you kept your appointment, your name was put in there for a possibility of that drawing.
But that means the more often you come, the better chance you have of winning that bike or that TV set.
The more often you come when your appointment is.
This was solely focused on being able to scam the Medicaid system. This was not about treating children.
The scam, says the Attorney General, involved these chiropractors not just paying recruiters kickbacks for patients, but also falsifying medical records.
Many of these children were being diagnosed as having neck pain or back pain.
And what we are alleging is that the vast, vast majority of these cases, those were diagnoses that were just made up.
Just made up.
To justify the bill being submitted to Medicaid.
These were perfectly healthy kids.
For the most part, yes. Or if they had health problems, they weren't the health problems that were being addressed by chiropractic treatment.
I could do a cartwheel and handstand.
Almost every child we spoke with, like 6-year-old Natil Butler and her 4-year-old brother Demetrius, said there was nothing wrong with them.
Is there a reason why you get your back cracked? Does your back hurt you?
No,
So why do you go?
because we like to.
They gave us a demonstration.
So I get the picture. You guys got pretty healthy backs. All right. Nothing wrong with your backs, right?
But that didn't stop at least 2 clinics from treating them. Here we came across one of Dr. Guzik's vans, dropping them off at home. Then a month later, our surveillance camera found them going into the back door clinic. And remember these 4 children whose mother said they were perfectly healthy? Altogether, they went to Dr. Guzik's clinic 213 times last year. Antoine Wiedow was only 8 months old on his first visit. His 3-year-old sister Khadijah went 74 times.
When somebody comes in 74 times, what are you doing for them each of these 74 visits when they say they don't feel any pain? There's nothing wrong with them.
Basically, making their body work at optimum and making their body be able to overcome disease and make them a healthier person.
Is that enough, do you feel, to justify a treatment and billing Medicaid?
Is there a price for health?
There sure is, a huge price. And the taxpayers are footing the bill for what many say are mostly unnecessary treatments. The chairman of the American Chiropractic Association, Dr. Edward Maurer, says healthy children do not need dozens of back adjustments a year.
Child, I would guess once every 6 months would probably be sufficient, unless, of course, there's an incident of a fall, trauma, injury of some sort.
Yet Medicaid paid Dr. Guzik for the hundreds of treatments on the Wiedow kids. Look at these bills. Each one is identical, $112. $20 for transportation, $25 for the spinal manipulation, and almost $67 for temperature gradient studies, which measure temperatures along the spine, a procedure many in the profession say is unreliable.
Do most chiropractors use temperature gradient studies in their practice?
I do not think so. I would be very surprised if more than 5% of the profession used it.
In fact, federal Medicare will only pay for 1 temperature gradient study a month, but Indiana Medicaid has no limit. And of the cases we reviewed, Dr. Guzik billed for 4 studies every visit. The bills from the other chiropractors under investigation contain similar abuses, says the Attorney General.
I think it's fair to say that we have fairly liberal rules for reimbursement of chiropractors. 99% of the chiropractors don't abuse those rules, but 1% manage to drive a Mack truck through the loopholes.
But that's not all. Dr. Guzik even found a way to cash in on Christmas cheer.
What about the Christmas parties?
You know, I've been asked about this, and
Dr. Guzik's Christmas parties were quite popular among his patients. Hundreds of youngsters get their pictures taken on Santa's lap and receive presents. Dr. Guzik says it's the least he can do to give back to the community.
And I've had every pastor, a lot of business owners come in and said, "I can't believe that you do this for this community." It's a pretty amazing thing. It will bring a tear to your eye.
It may bring a tear to your eye, but it also brings a lot of money to the doctor. You see, before they get their Christmas presents, the kids get a back adjustment.
So they cracked your back and then gave you the present.
Yeah.
You submit hundreds of billings for for those days when you have the Christmas party.
Right.
It would seem like it's just a way to get these kids in to make a lot of money for the clinic.
Basically, like I said, we just base everybody's schedule around that day.
2020's learned Dr. Guzik submitted bills for 1,500 patient visits in December.
So it was really the chiropractor that got the biggest present from this Christmas party.
The chiropractor is the one that made out like Santa Claus.
Dr. Guzik denies doing anything illegal, but authorities have sued him for Medicaid fraud, along with 2 other chiropractors, including Dr. Vandersloot, who had no comment. They also raided the offices of 3 other chiropractors. But even after the raids, and after the Post-Tribune of Northwest Indiana broke a story about them, our surveillance camera found van loads of Medicaid kids still being brought to the chiropractor's clinic. On the surface, it might appear that the only victims here are the taxpayers, who've been picking up the substantial tab for the transportation, the office visits, and the unnecessary treatments. But it's more than just the money, says the Attorney General.
The real tragedy here is just the abuse of the children, that they used children as pawns. To think that the limited amount of money for treating poor children, that's being wasted, well, that's just a tragedy.
Since our report first aired in late 1998, the government finally caught up with some of the chiropractors in our story. Dr. Vandersloot, who billed Medicaid for nearly $2 million, is currently serving a 21-month sentence in prison. He was also ordered to pay more than $1 million in fines, penalties, and restitution.
Meanwhile, the criminal investigation against Dr. Guzik continues, but he's already been fined $1 million and had his Indiana license suspended for the next 100 years. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Radio Shack's having a clearance sale on select compact PCs for your whole family. Incredible clearance prices up to 30% off. Powerful internet-ready compacts loaded with features and software for education. Get an extra $400 off when you sign up for CompuServe Internet Service. Save up to $700 on a compact that could help your kids do better in school so they'll do better in life. Only at Radio Shack.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
A message for the fans of NYPD Blue.
Starting January 11th, NYPD Blue is back on ABC. Still on Tuesday night, still at 10, 9 Central, just like it should be.
Blue is back. The new season begins Tuesday, January 11th on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
Thanks for still being there.
Coming up on 2020 Wednesday, the wild world of Internet auctions. A high-tech flea market offering dazzling merchandise and not-so-cheap thrills. Woo! 311.56. It's easy to get hooked, but do you know what you're buying? An eye-opening look at the newest place to spend your money. Online bidding on 2020 Wednesday at 10, 9 Central Time.
And on Thursday, 2020 Downtown looks at the controversy behind a killing in a small Texas town. The victim, a skateboarder who reveled in his punk looks. The killer, a clean-cut high school jock who ran down the victim with his car. Would prejudice against someone outside the mainstream allow a killer to go free? That's 2020 Downtown on Thursday at 10, 9 Central. And that is the first 2020 of the new millennium. 2020 Monday will be taking a little break, but we thank you so much for joining us. I'm Connie Chung.
And I'm Jack Ford. Connie and I will see you again. You all have a great week. And from all of us at 2020, good night.
Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
It's an event you can't miss.
Is this going to be a surprise announcement?
All My Children's Crystal Ball.
Magic. Can you feel it?
Tomorrow on ABC Daytime.
I'm ready to rumble. I'm going to beat you like a dog. I'm your daddy today. That's right. I told you I was coming. You thought that it was over, didn't you? You thought you had a chance, but I'm here today. I told you I was coming.
Once in a century, along comes a man whose strength and courage raises him above all others.
I am the greatest.
This is how he got there.
This is my history today.
Terrence Howard and the Practice's Steve Harris star in Muhammad Ali, King of the World, next Monday on ABC.
I'm going to shake up the world.
Number across the country, it's easy, accurate, and always less when you dial 411 for numbers coast to coast. Like your old football buddy, Carl in Miami. Hey, you buddy. Not your buddy.
411 from US West. One more reason life's better here.
Throughout history, Ford has led the way in automotive innovations. And to kick off the new millennium, we're doing it again. Presenting 21st Century Celebration from your Northwest Ford store, featuring the safest, most consumer-oriented cars on the planet, like the newly restyled 2000 Taurus, complete with a 5-star safety rating, dual-stage airbag, adjustable pedals, and more. Or get into the all-new Focus. Plus, with special financing, save almost $30 a month in interest. When it comes to new vehicles for a new century, no one can beat your Northwest Ford store.
Miss a call? Help is on your line. Press star 69 from US West. One more reason life's better here.
It's the top of the hour. Time for a quick check on tomorrow's weather. Look for rain, especially in the morning, tapering off the showers in the afternoon with windy conditions tonight in Seattle and Vancouver, 47 in Medford, and 42 expected in Bend. We'll talk about your 10-day trend. There's quite a number of storms to speak of. Channel 2 News at 11 is coming up.
You're watching KATU Portland. Now, Channel 2 News.
It's the catastrophe that wasn't. While many say Y2K was a waste of time, some Portland business leaders say getting ready for the year 2000 will pay off for years to come. Good evening. I'm Kathy Marshall.
And I'm John Marler. It is a Y2K sigh of relief. The close of business today was about as uneventful as its start. Millions of dollars in Y2K preparedness paid off. Some perspective now. Sheila Hamilton goes behind the scenes with one of Oregon's thriving online companies to see why the hassle of a Y2K audit may be a valuable business tool.
In a turn-of-the-century warehouse, take a look at the work world of the 21st century. 800.com is a Pearl District-based business ranked as the nation's leading online electronics retailer.
It looks like shipping is actually free on that, so there would be no cost.
If there was ever a company that needed its computers to work flawlessly, it's 800.com. From the customer service center to the computer system to the high-speed shipping lines, bits and bytes make 800.com profitable.
The Y2K topic was one that we took very seriously because we are a completely systems-driven business. All of our business is done on the internet, run basically on computers, and it was important that we didn't have any interruption in service.
And through the holidays, as many e-commerce companies couldn't fulfill all their orders, 800.com came through. Last holiday season, the company was happy with 500 orders a day. This holiday season, the company saw 10,000 orders on some days.
We did as much business in 3 days in December as we did in all of Q4 last year.
And at a time when some companies are bemoaning the expense of the Y2K audit, 800.com says it's a healthy investment. Drew and his managers are now reviewing system upgrades that will be in place for next year's holiday buying, because in the world of .coms, you can never be too sure about your computers.
Now, 800.com was founded in 1997. Private investors have poured in more than $73 million in funding to help with the company's rapid growth. In the past 100 days, the company has hired 100 people, bringing its workforce to more than 400. John, Kathy?
That's pretty impressive.
They're a great group.
Well, what a big building.
Yeah.
Thanks.
From Main Street to Wall Street, the first full business day after Y2K appears to be bug-free. Here in Oregon, state workers firing up their computers reported no problems. Small businesses seem to be experiencing only a small number of glitches. Hospitals, banks, and utilities say they also appear to be Y2OK. Computer technicians say they were on the alert all day.
We haven't gotten a single phone call from a single customer who has a single problem that can't be traced to just your average run-of-the-mill computer problems.
There were a few individual glitches across the country. Some examples: in New York, a man was charged 100 years' worth of late charges for a videotape that was a day late. And in Los Angeles, police breathalyzers reported the wrong dates.
While the fallout from the Y2K computer bug has been minimal, the cleanup from Portland's first New Year's Eve party has been substantial. Crews spent today breaking down scaffolding from the event, which cost nearly $1 million to put on. The city of Portland paid $135,000 of those dollars. Business sponsors picked up the tab for the rest. Portland police budgeted $400,000 for New Year's Eve. That includes patrols throughout the city. There were a few minor problems, but overall it went so well, city officials are considering making it an annual event.
It's a service organization, and we're going to serve the public of Portland, and if Portland wants to do it, the Police Bureau will support and make it safe.
Mayor Katz says she would support another New Year's Eve party. However, she wants to look at the final numbers and costs for this year's event.
The Seattle City Attorney announced tonight he plans to dismiss about 280 misdemeanor cases stemming from the WTO protests. The early December WTO conference spawned 3 days of protesting in Seattle, resulting in more than 500 arrests. 210 of those arrests have already been resolved. With the 280 cases dropped today, only about 40 cases remain to be prosecuted. The city attorney says the cases are being dropped due to a lack of evidence. Most of the dropped charges involve failure to disperse or pedestrian interference. A 2-alarm fire wiped out 6 businesses in Washington County early this morning. The fire broke out near Southwest Barnes and Miller Road. It took firefighters an hour and a half to contain the flames. It destroyed a Chinese restaurant, a coffee shop, an interior design store, a chiropractic office, a furniture store, and a postal annex owned by Joanne Ralston. She first heard about the fire on the morning news.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even know what you do. You pour your heart and soul into something and then just watch it go.
Fire investigators say the flames did not originate in the restaurant. The blaze began at the opposite end of the complex. They're unsure of what ignited the fire. Authorities hope to begin sifting through the debris tomorrow.
Investigators in southeast Portland want to know who's responsible for sending a minivan to the bottom of a high school swimming pool. At David Douglas High, a Toyota minivan was in 12 feet of water. Police say someone rigged the van to crash through the building and into the pool. For tow crews to get to the van, they had to drain 190,000 gallons of water from the pool. After 45 minutes of pushing and pulling, the once submerged van finally came free.
No, it could be a malicious act, could be just a prank. I don't really know. I'd like to know the motivation, though.
Portland police say they suspect high school students may have some answers in this case. Information leading to an arrest could be worth a $1,000 reward.
Federal authorities in Washington state have arrested another Algerian man in connection with a plot to smuggle explosives into the United States. Abdel Tizaga appeared in federal court in Seattle under tight security. He's being held on charges of illegally entering the U.S. and purposefully avoiding immigration officials. The suspect was arrested Christmas Eve at his Bellevue apartment. Investigators say they believe he illegally entered the U.S. from Canada in late November. They say he may be tied to Ahmed Rassam. Rassam is accused of bringing more than 100 pounds of explosives across the U.S.-Canadian border. The Oregon Department of Forestry is investigating whether clear-cut logging may have been a factor in the landslide, which closed Highway 101 last month. The slide happened north of Newport during an intense rainstorm. A 150-foot stretch of highway slid right down into the ocean. However, new reports show slide risks in the area may have been intensified by logging on private land just above the highway. An old logging road may have funneled water onto the road's shoulder, saturating the ground supporting it. A temporary road is currently open around the slide.
Hundreds of workers walked off the job today at the Umatilla Chemical Depot. They were protesting a nerve gas leak on New Year's Day. The depot is about 5 miles north of Hermiston in eastern Washington. Trace amounts of sarin were detected inside a storage igloo that contains rockets filled with nerve gas. Depot officials said the leak posed no danger to the public. They said it was not Y2K related. It is the depot's 7th leak, though, since 1984. The workers involved in today's walkout say they're concerned about the way leak information was handled.